I want to redo this because I feel like the last video I did was a little too, it may have been a little too confusing. What's up, baby? I can't go over there just now. You gotta give me a second to talk to the dog. I was talking about the burn the boats philosophy, which really is dismantle the boats. Um, in history, what happened was the guy, because I forgot his name, he had talks before he just chose to do that. They dismantled the boats so that way it was, this is what we're gonna do. This is our choice. Because you have to choose. If you have too many options, it'll be very difficult to actually choose that one option. Even if it's the best option, you may do 1,000 different things. I've gone back into designing clothes. I love to talk to people. I don't have one of the best. I call it greatest friends. I don't say best friends. One of my greatest friends. We're not on speaking terms, and it's not that it's beef. I was in eternal torment, and he's in his own version of that because he has something going on as well, and it wouldn't have been a great fit. I was losing my mind. I didn't reach him at the time where I needed to. I waited too long, and I was already fully gone. I'm piecing myself back, so that's good. But neither. It's not the point of this discussion. Yeah. I love to talk to people. You know, I got ADHD. I'm unregulated, and my system is out of whack, so I'm everywhere. With that being said, I myself have to understand why I'm talking to my friends. I can't just talk and try to pick your mind for 7 hours about this. What isn't it about me? So I need to understand that this burn the boats philosophy, dismantle the boats, and choosing one option is, hey, so I'm gonna talk to this friend for it about this friend about this friend about this. I have one friend, he gets 1 million views in total for a whole month, maybe more sometimes, right? Why would I talk to him? Yo, could you model this for me? Yo, can you take some pictures with it? Do you like this? I can give you a pair if you can help me sell like 2 or 3 pairs of these. I'll give you a pair and you won't even have to pay for it. Could you help me with that? That's why I would talk to him. Maybe I'll talk to someone else about colorways because I know that she dresses all the time and she has impeccable taste. Maybe that's why I talk to her. Could you see somebody wearing these? How do you feel about me introducing pictures on it, but kind of reducing it to something a little bit smaller as opposed to it being a canvas fully? You know, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about me putting items on there, props? You know, maybe I talk to someone else. Could you see women wearing this? Could you see yourself wearing this? Would you be able to style yourself with this? Understand why I'm talking to them instead of having 50,000 different ways out of doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. Choose this one reason, right? Choosing. Now, obviously, there is a little bit more of thought process, a person that's involved here because I'm not fighting a literal war. What I'm doing is I'm understanding my time and how I can use this. You have to remember when you use philosophies, you may be the invaders as well as the defenders. So you have to really understand yourself, right? I may be making sense. I may not be making sense. Maybe it's a bunch of gibberish. I don't know. If you feel I am, I'm going to welcome it with open arms either way that you feel because that's going to help me. I started this page to be able to talk with others and watch myself develop because there were things that I needed to see and understand. Putting yourself on video, looking back at it, one of the best things you could do besides writing. Moving forward, though, Machiavelli has something where I want to compare. I also want to put it here as well. And do remember what I said is you are sometimes the invader as well as the defender. Machiavelli has this thing where you give the invaders a way out. You don't have them fight to the death. When they dismantled the boats, those men were ready to die about that. And they won because of that. The exit strategy is whooping their ass. That's what we're doing. There is no other way. This is our exit strategy. We take over. This is our home. That's how they got there. They talked about this before he just did it. It wasn't a rash decision. It was done for a reason. It was calculated. Now, doing my best to compare these two because I've heard this a while ago and I want to work on my head and all of that stuff. So I should be doing stuff like this, even if it is jargon. My next one may have a better way to put everything together. If the idea is I'm the defender and the invader, I need to understand that there are 50,000 ways out, but I need to choose one. If I need to understand that I need to dismantle the boat so that way I don't leave and I go full forward and I'm die hard about this, about my choice, and I need to understand, don't give the enemy a way out. Don't not give the way out. Don't not give the enemy a way out. Don't give them 50,000 ways out. Give them a way out that's clear, so they don't fight to the death. What does that all mean? You have to dissect it, so that way it can really fit and resonate with you, right? As I said, I'm not gonna have all the answers right now. I got a bunch of stuff to do. You feel me? But in regard to Machiavelli, what I feel is like this. If my opponent is too many thoughts, don't give into every thought and allow it to be all of this. All of this as in, I need to talk to my friends. I need to, what if that's overload of information? You know? What if that's me consuming too much information? You know? I think that's part of that point. And I think that the idea of don't have them fight to the death, I think that's like, give yourself a way out. Go into it. Go with the flow. So that way you're not fighting yourself with all these different thoughts. So that way you're not contacting people when you don't need to contact them. A lot of people feel alone nowadays because their friends don't want to do this or don't want to do that. Your friends typically aren't going to support you. They're not supposed to. I have a friend with a brand called H2O. I have like 3 or 4 different things I purchased off him. He didn't buy any of the food that I made, but I'm gonna be real with you. It kind of differs. We talked about that. Not like I pushed it on him. He says, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it ain't like I don't want to eat your food. It's like I don't buy food. Like I go to stores. Like my mom cook my food. I don't. So if you was making t-shirts, I buy t-shirts off you. If you was doing books, I buy a book off you. If I had a food truck, it'd be different. But I'm selling my grandmother's house. Not everyone is gonna feel comfortable with that. He's been in my house. My grandmother's offered to cook for. My grandmother cooks for 200 people on a regular basis. It's no, you know what I'm saying? But when you don't go into it, when you don't go into the flow, you don't see that you have an exit, accept it. And as I said, it can get confusing, but you have to remember, when it comes to philosophies, you're gonna get a lot of different things, and that's why overconsumption, you don't want to do that. You want to take these things in slow, so that way you can actually understand, digest the knowledge. You are the invader. You are the defenders. You are the conqueror, while also being the one that is oppressed. The mind is a real complex thing. There's a whole world in here that you don't even understand. I tell people this all the time. Bees and mantis shrimp, they see the world in a different way. They see different colors. I didn't know that bees can see the magnetic field, the magnetic whatever, the magnetic pole, which is why they have excellent understanding. Yo, they see things we don't see. We see the world in the way that we see it because of, this is just humans. But in the same way, H.P. Lovecraft has a story where there's a color that is basically an entity that if it sees you, you'll die, you'll mutate, or something else. You cannot look at that color. The color is basically an entity that cannot be seen. Even if you see it, you can't really see it. You feel me? This plane of existence that we have, everything that we see may not even, leave it alone. No, you have other toys. Stop. Go play with one of them other toys. You have other toys. I didn't take every toy from you. It's like, we have what we have, but we have to make the best of it. So the mind, understanding philosophies and stuff like that. That's why it's important to be able to see things as different. That's why it's important to strengthen your mind. Most people don't really understand the idea, and not that you have to understand it in full, but even the smallest piece of it being Plato's cave, theory of forms. Sometimes it's difficult for people to grasp. But if you go piece by piece, you'll be able to understand things and be able to take it up a notch. So, I don't know. Maybe I made sense. Maybe I didn't. But to conclude everything, what I want to say is you want to be able to understand you are the conqueror, you are the invader, and you are the defender. You are the one that is oppressed while you are also the opposite of that. The mind can be a cage, or it can be the wings on your back. Give yourself an out. Don't give yourself too many outs. Fight to the death, but understand that that's a choice you're making when you're diving fully into our choice. Go into the flow and allow yourself to fully be aware that this is your way out. I give a couple different examples here, but you kind of gotta be able to understand. It's like easing up on the pressure when you're driving. You want to stay in a certain range, and you want to know when to put more. It's like seasoning food. You want garlic, but you don't want too much garlic. But sometimes you want a little more garlic because you need more garlic. I don't know. Maybe I made sense, maybe I didn't. Hopefully I did, though. I'll watch this later and I'll judge my damn self. Don't nobody be watching me for real.